us the story of how you guys met.
Yeah.
Well, it was a hot July 4th of 1918. The summer of the town Independence Festival, which is Independence Day. We were at the dance, and I knew from the first moment that I saw her that she was the one. So I walked over and asked her if she'd like to dance, and first she said no, and so then I waited a while, and then I asked again, and she said yes. Dance. Later that fall, I was drafted because the U.S. entered the war, and I had to leave your grandmother.
Our boys are at war, and it will not be cheap. We all must participate in helping our war effort. First, we must sacrifice here at home. We must have our President Zubrod has made one day a week meatless, another sweetless, another meatless, finally worthless. Even the businesses must stay in touch with this war. We must mass produce and support our boys over there. It won't be cheap to fund this war. Estimated cost of about $33 billion. Supply war bonds to help support your sons and daughters. We've also organized a committee on public information. George Trio of the CP. And now we are off to war. Woo! To war!
Yeah. Dude, Uncle Sam really wants us in the war.
I think we should get some clear cut in the war.
Yeah, let's go do it. Let's go sign up.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, I've been training for 9 long, gruesome months. We've been using sticks and rocks because we can't afford to use guns and grenades like we will at the war. But we have some luxuries such as watching movies and other great things.
Maybe I should come with you.
It's not possible, even though I would really like that. It's not possible because the Army will not allow women in war because you have no rights yet.
That's why do you even have to go?
I have to go because Germany sunk the Lusitania and their blockade is not as destructive as they'd like, and we'd like to take care of them in the shortest amount of time possible. So it's time for me to go.
Promise me you'll come back.
I'll come back. George of Britain and Woodrow Wilson of the United States and Clement to from France is absent, but he will be here tomorrow. Provisions to the treaty is we're going to make Germany take full blame for World War I and take some properties away and demilitarize them. Poland, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, Palestine, Iraq, Libya, and Syria were all created because of the treaty. Demilitarizing Germany, put a cap on their army and allow them to not have much to do with anything. And the War Guilt Clause, put all the blame on Germany, and that's the Treaty of Versailles.
Today, President Woodrow Wilson has suggested the start of League of Nations. The League of Nations will consist of the Triple Entente with other alliance nations. The main goal of the League of Nations is to prevent wars through collective security and disarmament, and settle international disputes through negotiation and arbitration. Sounds like a good idea, but only time will tell. The war has put a toll on everyone today, with the casualties reaching 20 million deaths. Everyone is poor all over Europe, and the Germans are the main cause for this war. And that is it.
What was it like when Grandpa was gone, Grandma?
It was really difficult because most of the women had to take on the jobs that were left by the soldiers, and there was immense movement to the north, which was caused by the Jim Crow laws. There were no jobs, and there were open factory jobs for the women to support themselves without their husbands. I had to work in the factory for a while, or I had the option of working at home. There were also options to be nurses on the battlefield, but all of those were taken. Germans and the Austrians that were already here when we left for war were extremely discriminated against, and they lost all their jobs, and they couldn't keep their cultures around, and they lost everything that they had.
Where'd you fight at?
First fight was in the Battle of Ypres on a machine gun, which was first used in the Battle of Ypres in 1915. German cannon was also very popular because it was the first of its kind, and they also used the Zeppelin, which was almost like a machine gun, which they also used the poison gas with the Zeppelin. And then airplanes and the tank and the airplane were two of the most important things to help win the war. Poison gas was first used, which was very deadly, but it soon became standard material for gas masks for all soldiers. Trench foot and lice were the two most common diseases. My best friend in the war suffered from trench foot and died. He died from a very painful death, and it was not a nice sight to see. Dogfights were pretty fun to watch because they were like first one of its kind. They were really dangerous if you were in them, and they killed a lot of people.
With the story told, our tale ends. Losing friends, exploring bends, so lives Mr. Buckhorn. Coming soon to theaters, Mr. and Mrs. Buckhorn take on Area 51.